Oh, what's up, YouTube? Today I'm going to show you a series of lower body movements to increase mobility so you don't snap some shit up or injure yourself on leg day. Let's get right into it, people. This warm-up routine that I'm going to share with you is what I do before every leg workout. The first movement will be hamstring sweeps. What you want to do is hinge at the hips instead of arching the spine while keeping your torso straight for the most part. You really want to avoid arching your back so that you can get a good stretch in that hamstring so we can avoid injury while doing our deadlifts or leg curls or whatever hamstring exercise you do. Next up, we have one leg toe touches. You want to touch your hand to the opposite foot, so when you tripod on that left foot, touch your toes with your right hand. If you find this too difficult to perform, you can also do this while holding on to the wall to maintain balance. After touching your toes when you're on the way up, flex your glutes, your hamstrings, and your core to maintain a stable base. Not only will this movement increase mobility and warm up the lower body, it will also improve your balance and your overall awareness of the body. Next up, we have another toe-touching exercise called high kicks. And with this movement, you don't want to curve at the spine while you're kicking. You want to keep the spine erect, chest facing up, so you can fully maximize the benefits of this movement, such as hip mobility and increased flexibility in the glutes and hamstrings, so we don't snap some shit up. Next up, we have our runner's lunge into a triangle pose. And when you do your lunge, you want to make sure your kneecap is parallel to your toes, not going all the way over your toes and forward. Nice straight line from the kneecap to the toes. And then we're going to shoot up into triangle pose so we can get a nice stretch in the hamstring and the calf muscle. We have 2 movements left, my people. And if you're finding this video entertaining or useful, please drop a like and subscribe if you aren't already. This would essentially be a compound movement because of how many muscle groups it targets. Not only does it target the hamstrings and the calf muscles, but it also helps range of motion within the hip flexors when we do that low lunge. For these last 2 movements, you want to roll your mat out to protect your knees because we're going to drop down to one knee so we can perform this fantastic hip and groin opener, so we can squat and lunge with perfect form while it's avoiding injury. You want your front leg planted as if you're taking a knee, and you want your back leg slanted to where it lines up parallel with the lower end of your mat. And what you want to do is lean forward a bit so you can stretch the muscles of the groin area. And trust me, you do not want to pull any of those groin muscles. When I was a freshman in high school, before a wrestling practice, I decided to foot race somebody with no warming up, no stretching, and I messed up something in my groin and I couldn't practice that day. Went from a full sprint to on the ground in agony. It was one of the worst pains I ever felt in my entire life. So take it from me, you want to make sure your groin muscles are all warmed up. So I want you to perform this movement 8 to 10 times for each leg. This next movement is going to be fantastic for the inner thigh muscles. You want to plant that knee and then take your opposite foot and extend it out laterally while it's planting that foot flat. And when you're in this position right here, what you're going to do is rock back and forth gently, engaging the muscles of the groin and the inner thigh. Same thing as the last exercise. You want to perform 7 to 10 reps and then switch legs and do the same thing. Now that we're all warmed up, you know what time it is. It's time to fuck up these weights.